Welcome to Fate's Forge, a D&D podcast. You're listening to Van Richten's Guide to A Curse of Strahd, previously in the Fate's Forge.
Okay, as you see the map here.
Oh, have you never seen this one before?
No, I don't think
This
so.
is the map of Valaki. So you guys were right here, right around the town hall. So you've got about a half mile to go to the chapel. Okay, so each different point here, a tremor hits until you get crest of the hill right here. This is the top of the hill, and it starts to come down where the chapel is. And you see this column of smoke swirling like a twister. It's about the width of a half of a football field, and it's circling mist. And you can see tree debris, you can see fixtures, stone, and it's like a tornado, but it's not moving, it's staying in place. And you can feel the vortex pulling you towards its center. And you guys are about 100 feet away or so at the top of the mountain, and you're seeing dark shadows within the center of it start coming out. Not just at the base of it where the ground is, but up above. There's like things flying or coming out of the mist of the...
Like bats and stuff?
Yeah, like bats, just like flying creatures. And then you see smaller like things running about. It's just helter-skelter. You can't really hear because it seems like as if sound has been sucked. But you can see that there is a shadowy figure that's like jumping back and forth, running back and forth. And there's just things happening as it seems like there's not just like one or two, but we've got like 5, 10, 15 at a time, creatures coming out from the mist as it's swirling. This didn't necessarily happen from the center of the mist, but it seems like something emerged from the mist and starts fighting those group of footmen as its little tentacles.
These?
No, these guys.
Oh, the sneaky snakes.
Yeah, so this man-eating plant starts whoosh, whoosh, grabbing these footmen and like wah, wah, and you can see that the ochre, I don't know, its ooze is coming out of like wah, wah, wah. Okay, you guys make your way closer and you guys are kind of creeping up. No one's really noticed you as this battle ensues. And why don't Katie, you make a stealth check, as well as Mel, make a stealth check.
Stealth check?
Stealth check.
Okay.
Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad.
What'd you roll?
2.
Okay.
So that means that I get a 10.
Okay.
16.
16.
Your
Okay.
character is that stealthy?
It seems like neither of you were noticed, so why don't you put your guys' characters somewhere in the castle? Your new
Inside of
characters.
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, because they came out of the same... pit.
As these two are drawn from whatever realm they came from, whether they were in
Is
the
that your
domain
guy
or
now?
not,
Yeah.
they were pulled into
I borrowed it
Barovia
from Jared. So.
during this cataclysmic event. And throughout all of this, Strahd is flying around. He's, putting his sword through the, dinosaur. He's trying to control undead. He's kind of doing his thing. So, why don't we have you guys go in initiative? Roll me initiative.
Oh, just these two?
Yeah, just for now, these two. You guys can go first, and then the chaos around you will go. It's all rubble. It's like 2 or 3 feet. Some places it's 5 feet. There's no roof. It's all blown out because of the mist.
So like there's not actual walls around us?
No.
So, okay.
It's been blown out by the mist. I mean, it's just like the remnants of it, like the walls. Like some areas it's got 2 feet, some areas it's empty, some areas it's like 3 or 4 feet high. Some wolves from the woods come in here and they start
I just kind of look
attacking
outside.
the dinosaur.
See all the things.
So you're right here?
Yep, I'm right
Okay.
there. I'm gonna look and see if I can find like the best
So
place to go.
each one of these squares are
5 feet.
5 feet.
5
Okay.
to 10 feet, roughly. You notice a group of adventurers on the top of the hill. Because you're looking through and you can see them. Funny enough, when you're in the mist, you can see out of it. Like you're not being obscured.
But we can't see
Okay.
it.
But the other folks looking in can't see anything inside of the.
That's
The-
why we're approaching.
Exactly.
We can't see
And the
anything
top
other
of
than the
hill
mist
is this
pillar.
way?
Towards me,
Okay.
this up this way.
Okay.
There's a path that goes like this, and then it kind of goes up.
So
And I don't see anything. So.
I would be able to move the farthest by going through this way, it looks like.
Probably.
Okay. I'm going to move my full 35 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I'm
Does-
sure I noticed this little thing next to me over
do.
there.
Does a 15 or a 12 hit?
Wait.
Does a 12 hit?
Uh-oh.
No.
Uh-oh.
Okay. You see a bolt just
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Okay.
this is dangerous.
just crossfire. Just
What's
through.
the, what's the highest challenge rating creature on there?
I think it's it could be the zombie thing or the carrion. The carrion thing is pretty scary.
This thing's going to be pretty high.
Yeah, that one's
Yeah.
like 5.
So I'm going to move 35 feet to there,
Okay.
and then I'm going to misty step further off this map towards the adventurers.
Okay.
The party that look like they're coming.
Did
to
you stealth
assist.
across the way? Did you stealth to that during that 35
No.
feet? Okay. You saw this
I saw.
adventurer.
Okay,
I'm just going to book it.
so I've just seen a wisp, just like. as it
Yeah, you
goes
see
up.
this
Okay.
figure go through. Why don't you
Okay,
try-
so yeah, what you see a tall, shapely blue figure. He's got blue skin, pale blue hair, this mop of hair that's just kind of blowing in the wind, even if there's no breeze, it's just kind of flowing.
It's like you're constantly in a makeup commercial.
Oh,
Right,
L'Oreal.
yes.
That
Yep,
L'Oreal, yeah.
And literally, this guy could be a representative for a makeup commercial. Like he
Nice.
just looks amazing.
Immaculate.
It's like that scene in the second Shrek movie where the knight takes his helmet off and
Oh,
then
that's
he takes
right.
his
and he
hairnet
took the
off.
And on his body, he actually has these kind of cracks or fissures, almost looks like in his skin, that accentuate his musculature.
Nice.
And at times there's like white light and crackling energy that shines through these. He's wearing studded leather armor, and his outfit that he's wearing, he's got on like this shirt with these big collars and embroidery on it, and a vest. He's got these trousers that have, you know, like some tassels, and like the way that the clothes that he's wearing on anyone else would just look probably garish.
Okay.
There's colors, but the way that he's put it together and the way that he wears it just seems bold.
All right. I like it. I like it.
Why don't we have our grung fighter or grung?
So,
I don't remember what your
out of the
character
corner
was.
of your eye as you ran by, you saw a bright orange humanoid tree frog.
All right.
And this enormous, gigantic green eyes, tarnished copper armor, holding a pike that is at least a foot taller than her.
Wow,
that
cool.
looks much too heavy, but she's holding it with one arm.
Oh.
And she's
Okay.
currently looking around, like holding up her shield, like unsure of what's going on. Go out the window, go as close to the tree line as I can, and then just start hopping.
Okay.
And like use all of my movement.
You can really hop.
I can real hop. I can hop 25 feet forward without a running start.
Okay. So as you guys make your way out of the, initial vicinity of the church, the chapel here, it almost seems like the mist swells again as it stops just slightly the rotation and then comes to a halt. And you can kind of, as you're making your way booking out, you're pulled back 5 feet as the mist sucks in again. And as a blinding flash of light is emitted from the center, and everything around here kind of stops as it's shaken and as it's struck with this mist energy. The following comes out from the center.
Oh crap! Oh, Draculich.
That's
As this Draculich
I think that's
makes
the highest challenge right now.
its way from the center of it, and you can tell that the mist is now slowing down as it's spewing from this core And Zagan, you freeze up and you're overcome as something takes over very deep within you. In your mind's eye, you hear, "Follow me. I have come to take what's mine." And then the same thing is telepathically advised in everyone else's mind. And Strahd runs away. He flees. He's gone. As the Strakolich just and then flies off.
Wow.
Welcome to season 2.
Holy crap!
I love it so much. This
Oh
is
my
possibly one
god!
of the most beautiful minis I've ever seen in my life.
Isn't
This
that
is
fun?
amazing.
That's a fun one. This domain of dread has been invaded by one or many, you don't know. As an anchor point that held this domain in place and the mist was broken, unbeknownst to the Lord of this domain. Could there be more? Is there a way to plug it back up? Or are you guys gonna have to accept the fact that now there is a gateway from one domain to the next? Cool. Let's go ahead and clear the board here. And a month passes.
A month?
Gosh.
You meet with these adventurers. So now we have a band of 5. And you guys level up to 6.
Do we know what happened to
there's
Runaway?
And
Well,
Kieran.
Baby Glow was there when Kieran got graduated. So Baby Glow can report back.
At this point, it's
But we're aware of that. Is she just like POW, MIA, gone but not forgotten?
at this point, yes. With all the rubble, with the fact that she teleported near the church,
Oh.
the statue was rent
Completely-
asunder. It was completely
Yeah.
obliterated. There's,
Oh.
as sad as that is, there's no way with all of the crap that was, sent out of that.
Honestly, it's probably the most fitting death for Renaway because she's already a bowler. So she became a
She's
bowler.
yes. She came back to her roots.
Yeah, exactly.
She left this domain and existence and will press on to the next. As crazy as it is, you don't see here of Strahd. You thought that he would do stuff here in the village of Valaki, but it's kind of helter-skelter. It's like this is ground zero. You've got a lot of death. I mean, not. What happens is smaller. There's a lot of like faction wars that you guys could tell, and a lot of these creatures didn't really care about the buildings or the folks that currently reside in the town. It was beneath them, right? And so there you could see that there's just fighting and infighting all the time.
The small folk don't care when the large folk
Yeah.
came from.
Exactly. Yep. When the fight for the throne is there. So for 1 week, there were roving bands of skeletons. Another week there was a giant zombie clot running around. Another week there's spectral creatures flying around. But for the most part, you didn't notice that there were creatures from like there weren't any devils, there weren't any demons, there weren't any like dragon type. It was a lot of just underdark, like dead zombies, ghouls, witches, Halloween creatures, pretty much. And you didn't see the Dracolich again. There hasn't been any sign of it, at least where you are. And you guys spend the next week helping out the town, trying to, come together and find the most righteous or the most just among them. There weren't just creatures that came out. There were factions of other humanoids. Whether they were,
Like those stealthy guys.
yeah, like the stealthy guys. They were half humans. They were half like dark elves. Not
The goth elves.
yeah, the goth elves, exactly.
Yeah.
And not the drow, not the drow.
No. Even gothier.
Yeah,
than
way
drow.
more gothier. Yeah,
They're
these are like
called
horror.
Shadar-kai.
Yeah, Shadowcry. Thank you.
Nice.
Yes.
There you go.
So you run into them.
And that was the other race I was considering doing for this character because they also have resistance to the front.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Useful.
Shadowcry elves is a faction of them, and you come to meet a bunch of different factions that are smaller, but there's one in general that you actually end up chatting with some of the acolytes of. You don't meet their leader, but they are called, they're not super friendly, but it seems like you guys have the same objectives in mind. Neither of them like the Dracolich. You know, they kind of tell you that the lord of their domain in Drakon was the Dracolich. He hasn't been seen for centuries, but his rule and reign was still there. Drakon was, they basically tell you it was like a mirror image of Barovia, but it's got way more mist. So the mist covers 80%, if not 85% of the whole countryside. Whereas here, it's like 30 to 40% of the mist covers. But it seems like a good portion of the mist from Drakon was sucked into Barovia. And so it was almost like a balance or like a weight scale had brought the imbalance within, as now there's a gateway between the two domains. And it was, you find out that it wasn't intentional. It wasn't as if something in Drakon happened to cause whatever happened in Barovia to happen. It was just, it seems like the faction that you run into, it was coincidental. And so as you get to, a better understanding of what's going on, it's kind of just, these creatures that have come through, it's basically an opportunity for them to try to seize power. This cult is called, they are the Ulmist Inquisitors. Ulmist Inquisitors.
Okay, that's
Ulmist. And there's 3 factions among them. There are the Inquisitors of the Mind, Inquisitor of the Mind Fire, Inquisitor of the Sword, Inquisitor of the Tome. So you mainly run into
Martial, psionic, and magic.
pretty much. You run into a lot of the Inquisitors of the Sword. They're more the grunts. They're the military faction, and in the last month as well, you hear of rumors that it is a gateway rather than a one-way kind of portal or whatever. So there was talks that people have gone back and forth. It's not exactly sure why. The Inquisitors, they have interest in figuring out, obviously, how they can stabilize the gate. But you also find that their faction was allies centuries ago with Strahd. Before Strahd became Strahd, the leader of the Ulmist group, who's now since passed on, was a compatriot and a good friend of Strahd. Strahd betrayed him. When he went dark and vampire-y, in their lore, they say that he betrayed him. And so their interest is to stop Strahd. So you understand that there's an objective that's similar, but you don't know exactly what each faction, what their interests are. There is infighting within the 3 factions, but for the most part, a large group of them made it through. But you guys are now back at the tavern, and you are kind of hiding out with the Marikov family, the Were-Ravens. All right, so this particular night is an exhausting one. You guys work hard to maintain order, gather rumors, try to make sure and meet with folks that are in trouble, navigate the landscape, figure out what's going on. You guys come together, you finally go over what you can do. You've gone over some of your previous adventures with each other, you've built rapport, and the Martikov boy comes up to you and says, "Look what I found."
Oh.
Would you shuffle those for me, please?
Do you want them all shuffled together?
Shuffle your side and then you shuffle your side.
That's where we got in trouble last time. We shuffled them all together.
Have you guys seen this before? Do you guys know how to do this? I've been brushing up on it. My mom said that it was something she used to use as a kid, Tarot cards. No? This will be fun. Let's see if these superstitious things work. Tell your guys' fortune. He says, I think you do it this way. From this pile you put 3 cards like this. And this is all just random. I didn't do anything. I let you guys shuffle it. But I think what you do is you turn them over, and then they kind of tell your future.
Ooh.
But no one believes in superstition, right? These don't have anything to do with anything that happens within the... Whoa, the hooded one. And then the Mardukov boy looks at the reference. This is interesting. The treasure is inside the head of the giant statue.
Oh, that seems really specific.
Yeah, but where would there be a giant statue? Oh, it has to do with the treasure. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, I like treasure.
Well, let's see what the rest of our thing says. Oh, you guys got the Avenger. This one's cool.
Or I can.
This apparently is the treasure lies in a dragon's house in hands once clean and now corrupt. Weird. The other one gave us more of information. Okay. Well, let's see what the next one says. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Myrmidon? Myrmidon.
Yeah.
Look for a den of wolves in the hills overlooking a mountain lake. The treasure belongs to Mother Night. Who's Mother Night? What is this talking about?
It's a cool name.
Huh. There's a big lake just west of here. I wonder if it has to do with that. The next one. Whoa, Queen of Clubs. This one's rare. The Raven. Oh. Whoa. I didn't realize that there was stuff about the Raven. That means a lot to me because I'm a were-raven.
That's pretty cool.
Cool. The Raven. Find the leader of the feathered ones who live among the vines. Though old, he has one more fight left in him. And he kind of stops. He's like, I wonder if that's talking about the coven in the area where the coven is.
Which coven?
Let me go ask my mom. This is too coincidental.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I was just goofing around. Near the Wizard of the Wines. That's where the other coven is.
We were there.
Yeah.
No, I don't know that.
Well,
Runner's voice.
Well, we told you to go there before we lost Renwick. Poor Renwick. Makes you live in infamy.
So I had a piece of paper I heard recently. It was all the girl talk that I wanted to do with Renwick.
Oh no. And then the last one he pulls. King of Diamonds. Oh! The broken one. Oh, this one's rare too. He haunts the tomb of the man he envied above all. What is it talking about? I don't know what it's talking about. It's weird. He haunts the tomb of the man he envied above all.
Huh.
Oh, these are broken. I was excited about this, but that's
That was
what it's talking
cool.
about. That's nonsense.
This is really weird.
You did a great job.
Those are the exact cards we pulled.
Wait, what'd you say?
Oh, we Taroka card with someone else, and these are the exact same 5 cards we pulled last time.
Are you serious? The exact same?
Yeah.
I thought they sounded familiar.
Oh, sorry.
What?
I know, right?
Unbelievable.
There's no fate but what we make. Oh no, wait. It's the fate whatever the Taroka deck tells us.
Do you guys have seen these?
Yeah, we found a deck like a month and a week ago.
Wow.
Give or take.
That's pretty cryptic. I'm sure that means something.
Well, I know it's important that we need to touch base now that we've had, the Day of Mist happen. We haven't been in contact with our coven over there. That could be an idea. The wolf den thing was interesting because we've been seeing a lot more wolf sightings since Strahd has now, reclaimed this part of his domain and then lost it because there's lots of pretty creatures. But there's been wolves all around, and there have been sightings of packs of wolves now more often within the village of Vallaki. Now, I wonder if over by the lake, west of here, I wonder if there might be a den there. It's weird. It's oddly specific.
Yeah.
I don't know of anything regarding a giant statue. As you guys roll the map here,
Oh, well then.
you have the town of Lockies, which right here. So I guess it's north. I thought it was west, but there's a huge lake, Lake Zarvich.
It's kind of west.
It's kind of west.
And east.
That wasn't even close.
North. Just not south.
And then he kind of picks his things up, and Lady Mardukov says, "Marty, come help me in the kitchen, please." And then he kind of leaves you.
During this past month, I have done all the mending and repairing of anyone's, if there's
Your armor
any
mark, I
tears
think,
or
didn't your
whatever.
armor have that -1 buff to it? Or someone's armor had that. That's been, I presume, fixed. Maybe. Didn't you get struck by acid?
Remember that.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, because it got banged up.
There was something, I thought there was something that, I can't remember.
I do remember that actually, yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, your everyone's clothing is now immaculate. I have prestidigitation, like...
Like, I'm assuming Jeepers is just she's a very excitable little frog, so she would have come to you and be like, can you embroider little dragonflies onto this? And just
So when I stand next to you, I cast my gust cantrip and I make my hair bleed.
wow! Oh, it's so pretty.
You know what would go really well with that? Here, let's put together a cape. We'll get some embroidery on it.
Oh, you look
I
so
love
good
it. I love all
in
of
the
it.
cape.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you first.
And these colors would actually go very well with your complexion.
Do you think so?
What do you think would go well with my complexion? I'm pretty orange. I don't know if.
Well, so the it's different. Let's see, I can put this together. Don't start while we can't cut the grass. I think it'll be difficult for you to find the right color for your ensemble because Jeepers, it's not easy being green.
Oh. No, you're right. Yeah. 'Cause then when you're out in the forest, nobody can see you because everything's green. It isn't.
That's true. I was making a current frog joke.
Yes, I got that.
You did.
Yes.
It's from
I
a
got
movie
it.
from about 15 years ago. Or maybe before.
Really?
Yeah, the movie was 1979.
Lady Mardukov comes over and says, "That's so odd what young Barty had pulled from those cards. It's just, it's just superstition, but you guys had this happen, if not a month and a half ago, pulled? That's got to be coincidental. Least of which it mentions our sister coven and werewolves. This is,
I don't think that could be a coincidence.
I don't know, I don't believe in that. But there's definitely been more sightings near the lake of werewolves. I mean, you guys could investigate it. We could send out our feelers to see if there are more. I mean, there's different ways that you could look into this.
If we were to take down werewolves, when I get home, Zoom the president, he'll name me the strongest person around. I'll get all the women.
Don't know if this guy's been around here long. Was he one of the
No,
through
he
gates?
just blew into town.
Yeah.
I see what you did now.
Apparently, when Wilco leveled up, she dropped it 20.
Yeah, he's a little out of place. This is odd. But
He's a little bit.
poor kitty cat.
And,
I was growing fond of him, but where did he go? Where's your feline friend?
Let's just say he ain't got 9 lives.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
he really helped out and saved me and my husband's bacon, but I didn't catch where he went. Did he get lost? Did he get pulled into the mist?
We don't know. None of us know what happens. He just disappeared.
What about Baby Blow?
Baby Glow Salt was there, so
Oh,
she's an eyewitness
that's
to what
right.
happened with Kieran.
So she saw him take off.
Did Baby Glow convey to Glow?
Yes,
to
Baby
convey
Glow
to the
told
rest of the
everyone.
party?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, she's there talking to you participating.
In our month of chaos, did we go secure our magical card?
At this point, no.
Oh, okay.
No. It's gone. It was lashed to. There was an area. I think it was just west. So I was thinking up like the long areas of the village. I was thinking it was north and south. I was wrong. It was east and west. West was not towards the chapel. East was towards the chapel. So anyway, it was more west of the town hall, and you guys passed by it and noticed that there was a ornate carriage there without any horse drawing it. But you've since not seen anything. You guys haven't really left the city's like the city limits. You haven't left yet. You guys have kind of stayed within Valaki and helped kind of rebuild. And on a few nights, a glow, or a few days, you have gone to the city limits to try to see if you can connect back with Baby Glow. But it seems like Baby Glow is a little too far.
Oh, I can just guess find familiar.
Oh, okay. Do you want to? If that, do you want? Would you have rather respawned Baby Glow, or would you rather have tried to gone out and find Baby Glow?
If after a day, I would respond.
Because Baby Glow wouldn't provide you the information, would she?
Why not?
I don't know. Can it? Can it convey what happened in its?
Baby Glow has an intelligence of 14.
But is it the same? Is it the same creature? Is it the same?
Yeah.
It is. Okay.
Oh, like would it have the same memory?
Yeah. Would it have the same memories? The same? Is it the same existence?
That is an interesting question.
Because you can summon it in different forms.
Yeah.
And
But it's like, so it's a celestial spirit. And when it, well, here, let's go to
Is it
the
the? Yeah. Is it the same spirit that's just recast? That's my question, because that'll kind of change the next step.
So one trick that I learned, but I wish I'd figured this out, but someone on the internet pointed out to me. When you summon your familiar, it says within 10 feet. It doesn't specify within 10 feet of the spot you can see. So you could summon the familiar on the other side of the door.
Oh, interesting. Baby Glow was on Kieran as Kieran fled
Okay.
or following. So you tell me what Baby Glow would have done.
Okay, so once Kieran like turned into a werewolf and ran away, Baby Glow would have just flown off and hid.
Okay. Yeah, you would have seen him running towards the lake.
Being cursed by Strahd and Richten.
Right. Or Strahd just bringing out his potential. Okay, so, Lady Mardukov, picks up your dishes, refills glasses if you guys were drinking, and then she kind of heads back to where she was in the kitchen. The evening goes on, you guys have small talk, you retire to your bed. Where are we sleeping? So this is kind of some of the sleeping arrangements.
Okay.
You've got a barracks area, and then there's 2 private rooms.
Jeepers will ask for one of the private rooms.
Okay.
Nobody else cares.
All right. Where else are other folks?
Cole will stay in like the barracks area.
Flo, do you want the other private room?
Absolutely.
The night goes by. The evening, the fire in the hearth, goes down into coals. You guys make your way to your bedrooms. There's its own separate fireplace in each room, so servants are maintaining it. It's nice and cozy, and you guys find yourself falling asleep. During the night, our friend Zagan has a night terror,
Oh
a
no.
nightmare. He's prone to these. And you have the same dream that you experienced when you entered Barovia. This was the dream of those barbarian-like clan who had ascended that mound that was kind of tiered, and there was a singular oak tree at the top. There was a vast forest, and from the top of the hill, you could see off into the next countryside, which presumably was Darkon. Barovia was on this side. Through the forest, you could see out in the distance that a few settlements of the next territory. The original dream was in the perspective of the leader of that clan. If you remember, you had that dream where he was holding that red spear that was etched with like blood on the edge, and you recall having that desire to get that weapon. Well, in this instance, you were in the perspective of a captive of that clan. And the end of that dream results in you being pierced in your heart with that weapon. And you wake up in a cold sweat, but you are actually standing above our friend the bard with your hand out like this. And there are wisps of purple emanating from the bard into your being. Roll me, I'll roll d6. You lose a hit point.
I take a damage?
You take 1 damage. And you wake up.
I do?
You wake up.
And I'm awake at this point.
Well, at this point, you come to and you're like this, with your hand outstretched.
Oi! Mika, what you doing to me?
I don't know. I had this crazy dream.
I don't like that. I'm not into that kind of stuff.
I actually feel kind of stronger.
And you feel better
I feel better.
as you devoured the dream of your neighbor. At this point, Cole wakes up to the yell and grunt of this.
We understand. What's happening?
I'm super bewildered at this point. Like, I have no idea what just went down.
What was that?
I don't know. I was sleeping one moment, the next moment I was above you. What were you just?
I'm not into that. I'm just saying.
Were you dreaming at all?
Was I?
No,
I know.
you weren't dreaming at all.
It
Dreams
just got
were literally sucked
painful
from
all of a
your
sudden.
mind and devoured. As you kind of pull yourself together, you're wearing a loose tunic, you've got some trousers. You're noticing that your skin is shimmering. It's that same, violet hue that emanated from your friend, but it's much more dull. And as you get closer to, the hearth, you kind of turn towards the hearth to get a better idea of it. Your skin has changed colors.
Whoa.
It's no longer a peach-colored skin. But
It's like a Twilight Zone where you're about to learn about racism.
It is a hue of purple.
No, that literally.
Not dark, but faint. But it's noticeably different. Your skin is no longer like spongy to the feel. It's almost like tanned leather, dried out.
Me?
No, him.
Yeah. Okay.
Megan.
A Zagan. One streak within your, hair that you typically bring back that's golden brown. One streak of white. And has now changed from the front to the back.
So he turned purple and he got like a rogue stripe.
Okay.
It doesn't cause it, it just doesn't.
You just don't lose it.
Okay, so what was the clarification here of
Okay,
the
so-
armor?
So if you sleep in light armor, you're fine.
Okay.
If you sleep in medium or heavy armor, you only recover half of your hit points.
1/4 of your spent hit dice.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
But what about like hit points?
Minimum of 1 die. Nope, it only says hit dice.
Only
Spent
hit dice.
Yeah, spent hit dice.
That's generous, and you don't recover any exhaustion.
Yeah,
you don't
and
gain any.
Oh,
if
interesting.
you have any levels of exhaustion, the rest doesn't reduce your exhaustion.
Oh.
So that's actually fairly mild.
Yeah. But if I do get exhaustion, I have no way to
To remove. Well,
remove it.
figure.
No, so we need to be careful.
Well, we have the potion of vitality.
What is potion of
That one
vitality?
removes exhaustion.
Oh, it does. Well, that seems like it could
Partially.
be very
That's
useful.
one of the effects.
One of the effects: poison, exhaustion, regain hit points. It's good.
Okay, well.
So Andy, am I aware at all of what happened to me? Like, do
Oh
I
yeah, I mean you can totally tell that your essence changed. There's this hunger that's been satiated. That, that feeling that you felt of dread and of fatigue and of lethargicness or whatever, has been satiated, and now you feel
like
recovered.
myself again,
Mhm.
but not myself.
You don't feel that hunger anymore,
Gotcha.
but you do notice it. You just feel different. That there's a difference in transformation of yourself.
But I don't know what it is.
I mean, essentially you would tell, right? Because you're no longer a human. So there are racial elements of your human race that you lose, right? So if you were a variant, there might have been a feat that you took. If you were a human, you would have had a +1 to all of your stats, depending on what you chose. You lose that, you forgo all that because you're no longer a human race.
Whoa.
Are you a tiefling? What
And
happened?
you obtain the Dampier
Oh, boy.
race
Oh.
origin, which has its own set of buffs.
Oh my
And
gosh.
So I'm a vampire.
so you're a vampire.
Someone
You're
doesn't
Dampier,
get to
and you
breathe.
have a number of
Vampire.
abilities that are associated with it.
So this vampiric thing, you have 6 different ways you can be a vampire. Blood, you can eat meat from raw meat. You can
Blood,
eat
meat,
spinal fluid,
Oh.
psychic energy, life energy, or dreams.
dream.
Whoa.
So he's
So
a
mine is dreams.
Dampier
Oh, funky.
dream eater.
Okay, that's cool.
And you're
You have to be from Barovia, Dark Dawn, or it to happen.
so his speed changed, he's more nimble. It went up to 35 instead of 30.
Hey, you're as fast as I am
You have
now.
dark vision now. You can see clearly at night, whereas you couldn't. You don't need to breathe.
I can climb walls.
Oh.
You have spider climb. You have a vampiric bite, which you've been doing involuntary.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Now you have that's the dreams bite basically. Well, that's the hunger that you have. Vampiric bite, you can look at the stats, but when you do an unarmed attack, you can gain hit points or whatever.
You feigned bite as a natural weapon, which counts
Yeah.
as a simple.
You gain fangs. To me, it makes sense that you would lose the feat that you'd get as a variant human.
which would be Polar Master.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that vampires are terrible at polars. Just terrible.
You're listening to Van Richten's Guide to A Curse of Strahd. Quest with us, where adventure abounds. Next time in the Fates Forge.